Here's your smart fact of the day. Okay, there's a new app in town. It's called BeReal. BeReal is supposed to be anti-Instagram. Now, why is it anti-Instagram? Because apparently it promotes the truth. It's supposed to be having no filters, so no scrolling, random scrolling allowed. Promotes authenticity apparently, and no posing or anything. It just takes snapshots in truth. So in this episode of Smarter with Sid, I'm going to look at not just BeReal as an app, give you my review of it because I've been using it for a bit, but I'm also going to tell you what happens to the rest of the social media janta when a new app comes into the marketplace. Remember Clubhouse and how that went? Well, let's see if BeReal can keep it real. On that happy note, welcome to Smarter with Sid, and let's go. So let's understand some context over here. What's happened through Instagram, and apparently Instagram's own, kind of research figured out that it was done in 2021, by the way, that the photo sharing site, Instagram, was having a devastating impact on teenagers' mental health and body image. So 40% of teenage Instagram users in the US and UK felt very unattractive. And they said that this feeling started when they started using Instagram. 32% of teen girls said when they felt bad about their bodies, if they checked out Instagram, it made them feel worse. So there is clearly something going on in the ether which allows for something like BeReal to come in. So what does BeReal do? It promotes, not posing or not no filters, no retouching of photos, nothing. And what they're trying to do, co-founder Alexis Barriat says that it was created in order to generate genuine interactions online. Now, it has certainly taken Gen Z's fancy, and it has grown to a place wherein, even somebody who's not far away from Gen Z has figured out that, okay, there is something called BeReal, and it seems to be gaining traction, and it seems to be gaining some funding. So clearly there is something there. And how is it going to actually fare? So what I did was I tried out that app, right? I downloaded it. The downloading was a pretty decent experience, and I tried to understand what is the big deal. Now, here's the thing. My experience of BeReal was that you know how it works, right? You get a notification at a random point in time. So that is not determined by you, but obviously by BeReal. So there'll be some strange algorithm running in the background. And, you get a notification. You're supposed to, within 2 minutes, just take a snap of yourself and where you are. So you might be in your room, or you might be at work, or whatever it is. And that is how it works, right? You cannot retouch the photo. You cannot do anything. And once you share the photo, then you're able to see your friend's photo sharing at that moment as well. Now, clearly, that is a moment sort of thing. So everyone shares a moment and diverse moments come in. And it is evident that what happens on the app is that unless and until you share your photo, you can't see anybody else's. And not just that, but you can't really retouch your photo or anything of that sort. I tried it a couple of times. Then I started thinking about it. Like, do I need this app in my life? I've got Instagram and I've got Facebook, quite reluctantly, if I may add. I've got, LinkedIn and Twitter. So maybe I was not perhaps very enamored by it. But then I thought about it and I said, okay, I am in the wrong generation because I clearly care about, what my work is. And sometimes I'm doing something urgent, or sometimes just imagine I'm in a lecture and BeReal gives me a notification, says take a snap or something. Just not feasible. Not just is it feasible, but you might be doing something personal, something important. And I just found the whole thing a little cumbersome. There was too many barriers for me to take. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to end up being a fan of BeReal unless and until I understand a better way of using it. But then I realized that, my truth is not necessarily the whole truth. So if I look at Gen Z and what their life is, so it's quite possible that they are probably freer in their mind than me. But not just that, but they might have lesser restrictions, or they might have more societal acceptance that, okay, I'm in a class, it's BeReal, so I'm putting up, this particular snap and so on and so forth. So we've seen some initial growth. Now, when I started deep diving into it, I saw some Reddit threads and I realized that not all people are fans of BeReal. Some people are saying, okay, so what's the big deal? Yeah, what is the big deal? It is just something which is like Snapchat, but made to look like Instagram. So I found it a pretty cool description, because Snapchat is momentary, so is this. It's moment driven as well, so is this. But its interface is like Instagram, and these guys have aggressively promoted themselves as anti-Instagram. My personal take on BeReal is something that I feel that it might end up going the Clubhouse way, but of course, I think if it has got more traction with Gen Z, then it might succeed, because Clubhouse, I think Gen Z did not really warm to. Now, why am I going on and on about Gen Z? Because when you are in that age, that is what is driving taste as far as social media is concerned, and that's a bigger point. So when Facebook became big, when Facebook blew up, it was talking to that generation, the late teens, or some, now it's gone to early teens, but late teens and early 20s or whatever. And suddenly you find your perspective changing. So maybe there is something there. I'll wait and watch, but I don't think it is going to rival Instagram. Maybe it might rival Snapchat. Maybe it might have a better kind of interaction than Snapchat. I think the values of the founding team for BeReal are in the right place, but I think that there is some amount of gamification involved, right? Because if I'm gamifying when you're going to take a snap and all, I'm in control, right? Not you. So I don't know whether it is as authentic as it's purported out to be. I think it is more gamified than authentic. It certainly is positioned as anti-Instagram, which is a strange thing. Because in India, where I am in currently, there is no TikTok. So Gen Z is still very much hooked on to Instagram. To my mind, Instagram is more like a, more like a millennial thing. And Gen Z was migrating very rapidly to TikTok, and growth was happening over there. YouTube Shorts is also some place where Gen Z and millennials are going. But that's the background of it, right? What my feeling about BeReal is that it is certainly making a dent enough for Instagram to consider things. Now, what do I mean by this? Instagram, as the big boy over there, is looking at how do you absorb new features. I'm just being kind to them. How do you steal new features, maybe? But how do you absorb new features so as to make Instagram better? So, Reels equals TikTok and Stories equals Snapchat. And the drill. Instagram always picks up, either tries to pick up the company, or, Facebook does that too, or Meta, if I may say so. But the fact is that BeReal has positioned itself as anti-Instagram. So I don't think Instagram is going to try and pick it up. What Instagram might try to do is improve the interactions of the feature that BeReal is trying to do. It is gamified, certainly. It is something which is trying to be authentic. So it is going to force Instagram to consider things and consider changing the way they are. And I guess Instagram has been considering it in any case, because they have produced the report which said Instagram has a bad impact on mental health, right? So expect some changes to Instagram, expect maybe some changes to TikTok, expect some changes to Snap, because somebody else is in the market. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I am of the opinion that unless and until a feature or a function of a new social media app is remarkably different, it is not going to make a tremendous impact on the growth of the app. I think the growth of the app depends upon the community, the initial community that picks it up, and whether it's inspirational for other communities to pick it up, right? So I believe in a different way in which growth happens, and that's my analysis on it. So BeReal's genuine chance of growth is probably around that. Is the community inspirational enough for other communities to take it on? And Instagram's way in which it will kind of shorten BeReal's existence in the marketplace is to try and figure out a better way in which they can incorporate this kind of interaction within their thing. It'll be a fascinating battle to watch, and we will learn something new from this interaction every single time, right? And hey, if you're thinking of learning, here's my 1-second commercial. Go to thenextlevellearning.com. I've put a couple of courses there, very cheap, but very useful. And I hope you like this episode of mine. It's a hot take on a hot new app called BeReal. And if you like, please like and subscribe to this podcast. And if you like me, well, I do not bite, do reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. I've got a very strong community in both of these media right now, or these social media right now. And if you like podcasts like these, just check out IVM Stuff, man. They've got some fantastic things going. On that happy note then,